Picture this. It's the end of the month. Something breaks. Your car, your phone, a medical bill you weren't expecting. And you open your banking app hoping, just hoping, there's enough to cover it. But there isn't. So you do what millions of people do. You put it on a credit card. You borrow from a friend. Or you just panic. And the worst part? It wasn't even that expensive. Maybe $400, maybe $600. And yet, it completely derailed your finances. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Because according to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. 40%. And the scary part isn't the statistic, it's what happens next. Because one unexpected expense without a safety net doesn't just cost you money, it costs you momentum. It sets you back weeks, sometimes months. If you've ever been hit by a surprise expense and had zero cushion to absorb it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because today, we're going to fix that with a simple, realistic plan to build a $1,000 emergency fund in exactly 90 days. Now here's what most people get wrong right away. They think building an emergency fund is about saving more. Just spend less, be more disciplined. But discipline alone almost never works long term. And here's why. Willpower is a limited resource. Every day you fight the urge to spend, you're draining that resource. And eventually, something slips. A bad day, a sale, a moment of weakness. And suddenly, the progress disappears. So the real solution isn't more discipline. It's better design. And that's exactly what this 90-day plan is built on. But before we get into the plan, let's talk about why $1,000 specifically. Because some people hear that number and think it's too small, and other people hear it and think it's impossible. Here's the truth. $1,000 covers the most common financial emergencies: car repairs, medical copays, unexpected travel, a broken appliance. It's not meant to cover everything forever. It's meant to stop the bleeding, to keep one bad day from becoming a financial disaster. Think of it like a fire extinguisher. You hope you never need it. But when something catches fire, you really need it right there. Now let's get into the actual plan. 90 days, 3 phases, 30 days each. Phase 1. Days 1 through 30, the audit and the cut. Here's the thing. Most people don't actually know where their money goes. They have a rough idea. Rent, food, subscriptions. But the details? Blurry. So the first move is simple. Go back through the last 30 days of transactions and write down every single expense. Not to judge yourself, just to see clearly. Because here's what most people find when they do this. There are 3 to 5 expenses they completely forgot about. Subscriptions they don't use. Memberships that auto-renew. Apps charging $9.99 a month for something they haven't opened in 6 months. And that's your first win. Cancel the dead weight. Redirect that money directly into a separate savings account. Not your main account, a separate one. Because when the money is out of sight, it's out of reach. Your phase 1 target. Save $300 in the first 30 days. That's $75 per week, or about $10 per day. For most people, that's entirely possible, just from cutting forgotten expenses and 1 or 2 small lifestyle tweaks. Phase 2. Days 31 through 60. The acceleration. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because by day 30, something shifts. You've already saved $300. You can see progress, and that progress creates momentum. Psychologists call this the goal gradient effect. The closer you get to a goal, the more motivated you become to reach it. So phase 2 is about using that momentum and adding one extra income source. Now I know what you're thinking. Extra income sounds complicated, but it doesn't have to be. We're talking about one simple thing. Sell 5 to 10 items you already own. Old clothes, electronics, furniture, stuff collecting dust. The average person has hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, sitting in their home completely unused. Apps like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, or Poshmark make this extremely easy. One weekend of selling could add $100 to $300 instantly. Combined with your continued savings habit, your Phase 2 target is another $400, bringing your total to $700. Phase 3, days 61 through 90. The finish line. You're at $700. You need $300 more. And honestly, this is the easiest phase, not because it requires less effort, but because the habit is already built. You've been doing this for 60 days. The system is running. Now you just need to cross the finish line. Phase 3 is about one final push, a temporary spending freeze. For 2 weeks, cut every non-essential expense completely. No eating out, no entertainment spending, no online shopping. Just 2 weeks, not forever, just enough to close the gap. And here's what most people don't realize. A 2-week spending freeze isn't about punishment. It's about proving something to yourself, that you can control your money when it matters. Because that confidence, that's worth more than the $300. Your Phase 3 target, $300, bringing your total to $1,000. Now, let's run the numbers. 90 days, 3 phases. Phase 1, $300 saved from cutting forgotten expenses and small lifestyle adjustments. Phase 2, $400 saved from continued habit plus selling unused items. Phase 3, $300 saved from a temporary spending freeze and redirected spending. Total, $1,000 in 90 days, without a raise, without a side hustle, without perfect discipline. But here's the part most people skip. Where you keep it matters. Your emergency fund should not live in your main checking account. Because if it does, your brain treats it like regular spending money, and it quietly disappears. Instead, open a separate high-yield savings account. These accounts often earn significantly more interest than traditional savings accounts. Your money grows slightly while it waits, and the separation creates a psychological barrier that protects it. Now you might be thinking, okay, Jack, but what happens after I hit $1,000? Great question, because $1,000 is just the beginning. Once you hit that milestone, the goal becomes 3 to 6 months of living expenses. But you don't need to think about that right now. Right now, you just need the first $1,000. Because here's what that first $1,000 actually does. It doesn't just sit there. It changes how you make decisions. When you know you have a safety net, you stop making desperate choices. You stop putting expenses on high-interest credit cards. You stop borrowing from people you love. You stop letting one bad week destroy an entire month. That $1,000 gives you options. And options are the foundation of financial freedom. So let's bring it all together. The 90-day emergency fund plan. Phase 1, days 1 through 30. Audit your spending, cancel unused subscriptions, redirect that money to a separate account. Target, $300. Phase 2, days 31 through 60. Continue the habit. Sell unused items, add one-time income. Target, $400. Phase 3, days 61 through 90. 2-week spending freeze, final push, cross the finish line. Target, $300. Total, $1,000. 90 days. One simple system. Because here's the truth. Financial security doesn't start with a 6-figure salary. It starts with $1,000 sitting in a separate account that nobody can touch. That's the foundation everything else gets built on. If this video helped you see a clear path forward, make sure to hit subscribe. And here's your challenge. In the next 24 hours, open a separate savings account and move your first $10 into it. Just $10. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is starting. And one day, 90 days from now, you'll open that account and see $1,000 sitting there. And you'll realize something important. The money isn't the biggest thing that changed. You are.